Cognitive dissonance. Why smart people make bad decisions. Have you ever defended a choice, even when you secretly knew it was wrong, or doubled down on a belief after seeing clear evidence that contradicted it? If so, you're not alone and you're not irrational, but you're human. This experience is driven by a powerful psychological force called cognitive dissonance, and it affects even the smartest people among us. In fact, intelligence doesn't protect you from it. Sometimes, it makes it worse. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort we feel when we hold two or more conflicting beliefs, values, or behaviors at the same time. Your brain doesn't like contradiction. It craves consistency, balance, and a clear story about who you are and why you do what you do. When reality challenges that story, tension arises. Your mind rushes to eliminate that tension, often in surprising and irrational ways. Imagine someone who believes they are a careful, logical person, but makes an impulsive purchase they can't really afford. That uncomfortable feeling that follows isn't just guilt, it's cognitive dissonance. Instead of admitting the mistake, the brain looks for escape routes. I deserved it. It was on sale. It'll pay for itself eventually. These justifications don't fix the mistake, but they restore psychological comfort. The brain chooses emotional relief over objective truth. This is why smart people are especially vulnerable. Intelligence gives you better tools not to avoid bad decisions, but to explain them. A clever mind can build elegant arguments to defend almost anything. When facts threaten your identity, your intelligence goes to work protecting your self-image rather than correcting your behavior. The result isn't clearer thinking, but more convincing rationalizations. One of the most famous demonstrations of cognitive dissonance came from psychologist Leon Festinger in the 1950s. In a classic experiment, participants were asked to complete a boring task and then tell the next person that it was interesting. Some were paid a large amount of money, while others were paid very little. Strangely, those who were paid less later reported that they actually enjoyed the task more. Why? Because their brains needed to resolve the contradiction. Being paid a small amount wasn't enough justification for lying, so their minds changed the belief instead. If they couldn't explain the lie, they convinced themselves it wasn't a lie at all. Cognitive dissonance doesn't just affect individuals, it shapes entire societies. It explains why people cling to political beliefs even after they've been proven false, why fans defend scandals involving their favorite celebrities, and why organizations continue failing strategies long after the warning signs are obvious. Admitting error isn't just uncomfortably threatens identity, status, and belonging. The brain would rather rewrite reality than face that threat. This effect also explains why people often become more extreme when challenged. When someone confronts your beliefs, it feels less like a debate and more like an attack. Your brain interprets the challenge as danger, triggering defensiveness rather than curiosity. Instead of asking, "Could I be wrong?" the mind asks, "How do I protect who I am?" That's when logic is bent, evidence is dismissed, and contradictions are ignored. Cognitive dissonance even influences memory. We don't remember the past objectively. We remember it in ways that support our current beliefs. When faced with uncomfortable truths, the brain may downplay details, reinterpret events, or forget key information altogether. Over time, this creates a personal narrative where our decisions always make sense, even when they didn't at the time. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Bad decisions don't come from lack of intelligence. They come from unexamined beliefs. The more strongly you identify with an idea, the harder it becomes to let go of it. And the more effort you've invested in a decision, time, money, reputation, the stronger the dissonance becomes when that decision starts to look wrong. This is why people stay in failing relationships, bad investments, or toxic environments long after they should have walked away. So, how do you reduce the power of cognitive dissonance? Not by trying to eliminate it, that's impossible. Instead, you learn to recognize it the moment you feel defensive, uncomfortable, or tempted to justify rather than examine. That's a signal. Discomfort doesn't mean you're wrong, but it does mean there's something worth exploring. Curiosity is the antidote to dissonance. The smartest people aren't the ones who never make bad decisions. They're the ones who can say, "I might be wrong," without feeling threatened. They treat beliefs as tools, not identities. When evidence changes, they change with it, not because it's easy, but because growth matters more than comfort. Cognitive dissonance isn't a flaw in human thinking. It's a feature, one that once helped us survive by keeping our sense of self intact. But in a world full of information, that same feature can trap us in bad decisions if we don't become aware of it. Understanding cognitive dissonance doesn't make you immune to it. But it gives you something powerful, the ability to pause, question, and choose truth over comfort. And sometimes, that single pause is the difference between repeating the same mistake and finally making a better decision.